The fundamental philosophies of holism and reductionism are two lenses through which we can view reality, and both are required to understand things well. Holism focuses on the big picture, while reductionism zooms in on the parts. Hi, I'm Michael Allen Prestwood, and this video is based on my book 30 Philosophers, where I establish holism as an ancient and fundamental philosophical idea. In Chapter 3, I define it as follows. Holism views things as a whole, emphasizing interconnectedness and interdependence, and values unity and synthesis. For example, thousands of years ago, reductionism led the laughing philosopher Democritus, born about 460 BCE, to the idea that everything is made up of tiny, indivisible atoms, a quintessential reductionist perspective. In contrast, Parmenides, born around 515 BCE, another ancient Greek philosopher, argued that reality is a single, unchanging entity, a quintessential holistic perspective. Now, I generally call these two views philosophies because I apply them to human thinking, not just to science. They shape how we evaluate ideas, how we see the world, and how we approach complex problems. Within philosophy, they fall under critical thinking, a field connected to the philosophy of mind. For those familiar with my TST framework, they fit under the 5 thought tools, specifically as part of idea evaluation. By understanding holism and reductionism, we gain 2 powerful lenses to evaluate our thoughts and ideas, helping us think more deeply and effectively. And, humans are pretty good at both holism and reductionism. Almost from birth, we look at things as a whole and try to figure them out. Then, around age 5, we all start breaking things down, whether it's toys, gadgets, or whatever we can get our hands on. Kids love taking things apart to see what's inside. It's like we're all born philosophers, natural reductionists with a flair for discovery. So, while we can't let kids destroy everything in sight, when possible, let them take things apart. It's their way of learning, of naturally engaging with reductionism. Who knows, your old TV remote might just spark the next great thinker. Now imagine you're standing in front of a majestic forest teeming with life. You can choose to focus on the intricate patterns of individual trees, studying the unique characteristics of each one. Or you can step back and gaze at the forest as a whole, taking in the breathtaking tapestry of relationships between the trees, the soil, the air, and the creatures that live within it. Both approaches are needed to truly understand the forest. By oscillating between reductionism and holism, we uncover the intricate beauty of reality, one tree and one forest at a time. Holism is inherently emergent, while reductionism is not. When we analyze a system holistically, we look for new properties that arise from the interplay of its components. Take a simple example, a chair. A chair emerges from its wooden parts. This new thing now has properties like function, beauty, and comfort, none of which can be fully understood by looking at the pieces of wood alone. Yet, this doesn't negate the benefit of reductionist analysis. Reductionism shows us how a chair is made up of specific parts connected in specific ways, without which the chair wouldn't exist. Sometimes these two complementary tools are contrasted. Take the debate over the nature of the mind. Some reduce the complexity of thought to its biological components, neurons, brain chemistry, and electrical impulses. Others attribute the complexity to the mind as a whole, exploring emergent properties like consciousness. Some may believe in a soul, while others do not, and their views are often framed as holistic or reductionist. But, ignoring the question of the soul for a moment, you can see the benefits of both approaches when studying the mind. Reductionism helps break down mental processes into neurons and chemistry, giving us insight into how the brain functions on a detailed level. Meanwhile, holism emphasizes the emergence of consciousness, something that arises from the brain's complex interactions but cannot be fully explained by its individual parts. I'm Michael Allen Prestwood, reminding you that from parts, a new thing can emerge that exceeds the sum of its parts. This wholeness arises from diversity, giving life to a new entity.